The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Kogi State government has in the past weeks been engaged in a trade of words over a 20 billion naira bailout funds allegedly kept in a secret deposit account to generate interest for itself. Recall that President Muhammadu Buhari had in July 2019 approved the payment of the final tranche of the bailout loan to Kogi State government, which came by way of an on-lending loan from the Central Bank of Nigeria via Sterling Bank PLC. Controversy started when the EFCC filed a suit seeking the freezing of account number 0073572696, domiciled in Sterling Bank PLC, with the name Kogi State Salary Bailout Account, considered to be warehousing proceeds of unlawful activities. In August 2021, a federal high court sitting in Lagos granted the freezing of the account, allegedly warehousing the said 20 billion naira bailout funds. However, in another twist of event, the EFCC withdrew its suit seeking the freezing of the account on the grounds that questions resulting in the commencement of the suit had been clarified and an intention had been shown to return the remaining 19.3 billion naira in the account back to the Central Bank of Nigeria. Although the Central Bank of Nigeria is yet to release an official statement on the matter, the EFCC said it has acknowledged receiving 19.3 billion naira recovered by the Commission from the Kogi State Salary Bailout Account, domiciled in Sterling Bank PLC. Sterling Bank has also not released any public statement on the matter except for responses to queries by the Kogi State government. On the program today, we'll find answers to some of the questions arising from the bailout scandal. Who owns the money? The Kogi State government, during a press statement, vehemently denied having the sum of 19.3 billion naira or any other sum in a fixed deposit account with Sterling Bank PLC as alleged. For what purpose was the account created? The management of Sterling Bank PLC, where account number 0073572696 with the name Kogi State Salary Bailout Account is domiciled, has since acknowledged the existence of the said account in their book but claimed the account was an internal mirror account. However, with the confirmation of receipt of the said 19.3 billion naira by the Central Bank, was the internal mirror account funded? If so, where did the money come from? Who withdrew part of the money? Of the 20 billion naira deposited in the said account, 19.3 billion naira was transferred to the Central Bank, leaving about 600 million naira unaccounted for. All right, thank you for joining us again, and thank you for staying with us. This is The Issues, and now we will be taking perspectives on this Kogi bailout fraud and exactly what is going on with the response that we've seen from Sterling Bank and other parties involved. We have in the studio Bashorun Aderoju. He is a financial expert and analyst in the studio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us here.
All right. Now, this debate about the Kogi bailout funds, the EFCC said, look, you have that account somewhere. The bank admitted that the account, yes, is there, but it's a mirror account. What exactly is a mirror account and how does it operate?
Maybe we should backtrack a bit and even trace it to the genesis of this whole brouhaha. I partner in a financial intelligence and advisory firm. I'm not at liberty to mention the name here, but so what we do is we advise and we investigate. Now, when the Kogi thing first came up, it was of interest to me personally. Not because I'm from Kogi, I'm not from Kogi State, and I don't have anything to do with them. First, because the governor is a very public representation of what Nigeria should be. I mean, as in the youth and all that stuff. I mean, that was on the premise on which it came to be. So his stories has always amused me. So that's one. Number two, my kids attend school in Kwara State. So whenever I have the opportunity to go to visit them, they drive through FCT, Kogi, Ekiti State before getting to Kwara State. It's a very enlightening one for me. when you drive through the access from FCT, there are good roads, and get to Kogi, not very good. I mean, not good. We can't see tangible development. Not really that intrinsic. You know. But when you get to Ekiti, as humble as it can be, they have good maintenance culture. I mean, that's me. I'm telling you where all this is coming from. So I was like, see, this guy should be doing more than we are saying. I don't know what's happening at the state capital, but I mean, the rural roads we pass and the rural, you don't see much. So when the issue of the bailout fund came out, I was interested. It's okay. I mean, it wasn't official, so let me off the record. Let's go investigate, and we found out some very peculiar things. Now we say this without any fear of acrimony or fallback on anything. The two parties involved leave a lot to be desired. One has come and, as usual, gone on a media trial and bleeds without doing proper investigation, and the other is trying to defend itself. So we went, where did this bailout thing start from? Before we even go to the mirror account or the on mirror account, it's a fallout at the end of the story. Now, I think it was when this present government came into power, 2015, right? There was this issue of states not being able to pay salaries and all that. So they went cap in hand, the governors went cap in hand to the center, and there was this issue, good bailout. I mean, some of us in the finance sector didn't really agree or advise that, but hey, the executive arm of government took that decision. So each states that needed applied. All this I'm saying to you is available in the public space. I mean, with the FOI bill, you can ask for organizations to give you their data that's in their holding. Anyway, so Kogi applied for about 50 billion. No. Kogi was approved 50 billion. They applied for much less. It was, I think it was Captain Wada that was governor before that period or something. So they applied, but due to whatever the reasons were, they were approved more than they applied for. So the new incoming government of Kogi in 2016, they came in a year after or some months after the federal government did, accessed that facility. But in their wisdom, they only accessed about 20 out of the 50 billion that was approved. That got me asking questions. Why 20 out of 50? The 50 was to meet a need, as the need suddenly reduced to 20 that, the governor now, or the government now in Kogi State, I think what I said, the response to our inquiry says something like they have the civil service was way out of, so they had to do a staff audit. The monies that was approved and disbursed, the first 20 billion, can I give more details about it?
Yes, please.
Yeah. The first 20 billion, don't forget, the bailout was for payment of salary and emolument for civil servants. It wasn't for any other project. It wasn't for road construction. It wasn't for water or rural. It was just for servicing salaries and emoluments. Now, the first 20 billion was shared between the state civil servants and the local government civil servants. Equally, 10 billion each. The first 20 billion to state was housed in, I think, Zenith Bank. Yeah. The latter one, the second one, which was for local governments, was housed in Access Bank. The state government accounts, of course, in Access Bank, which was for salary disbursement. Now, in its own wisdom, the state government, I don't know why, took 3, almost 4 years to do a staff audit. So they didn't access the balance for a bit. So in 2019, I think, they now asked for the balance. Mm-hmm. From what I even heard, they had to present behind the scene tweaking and begging for the money to be released. Some of the traditional rulers in Kogi State had to go and make a presentation to the powers that be for them to release that money. Now, the second tranche was for 30.8 billion. Yeah. Which was to be divided, not equally this time, but 20 billion was supposed to go to the state civil servants and 10.8 to the local government. The 20 billion went to the state, but it was not housed in Zenith, it was not housed in Sterling Bank. This 10.8 we still went to Access Bank, which were the local government bankers. Now, why are we going through all this? So that the public and Nigerians will understand the genesis and the journey so far. Now, if we were to capture these transactions, ask any accounting student, the first rule of accounting entry is that whenever there's a credit, there must always be a debit. So, who give the money? Federal government. Federal government does not just give money. They give money through its bankers. Central bank. So with central bank, each bank, this money was not disbursed through another means, but what we call the deposit money banks, the commercial banks. So every bank has an account with central bank. Now, federal government gave the money out, so central bank paid the money into Sterling Bank's account with them. You understand? So from federal government's account, they debited the revenue account for whatever it's called, the revenue bailout account or something. Then they credited Sterling Bank's bailout account because all states had to come through banks, all states. So, I mean, some banks had more than one or two states that they were dealing with. Oh, I think about 30 or 36 states accessed that money. Yeah, I think about all 36 states accessed that money. So, in central bank, you had, excuse me, you had the account which evidenced transactions. They debited a revenue account, I think titled Federal Government Bailout Fund or something, and they credited the requisite bank, which in this case was Sterling Bank. So they credited Sterling Bank with 20 billion, right? Now, in Sterling Bank's books, for every credit in accounting, there must always be a debit. For every debit, there must always be a credit. Money just don't hang anywhere. That's the good thing about financial transactions. Money no dey loss. As far as it goes through the financial system, money no dey loss. The reason behind it might not be understood, but you can always trail and trace transactions. So CBN debits its account and credits Sterling Bank. So Sterling Bank has money, which was supposed to be for bailout. So Sterling Bank, in mirroring what CBN has done, now debit their own internal account with themselves, their CBN account with them, right? Which shows transaction between them and CBN. So for that leg from CBN, there is a corresponding leg in-house with Sterling Bank. Now the money was debited. It can't just hang in the air, so it must be put somewhere. So the credit leg was put into the Kogi State bailout account. Now, because this transaction, this bailout transaction was a loan, is a loan, is a loan for a 20-year period. This is one of the terms that the government gave. It's not grant, it's not a dash. So it was access to that's what was passed through the commercial banks. Now, so the Sterling Bank debited its CBN account, created Kogi State's, what do you call it now? Bailout account with them. Yeah. So that shows where the money ended up, right? Now, because they were disbursing these monies to civil servants and local government workers, there was a debit in the Kogi State account to move the money to where it's supposed to be disbursed. Because the account that was created as a bailout account for Kogi State, don't forget there's a loan transaction. So that evidenced the loan between Sterling and Kogi State. So that's where we are.
Okay, but the issue that the EFCC is saying is that after that transaction was done from the CBN to Sterling Bank, and then another account, a deposit account, was created.
Oh, fantastic!
And then that money was put in there so that interest would be accrued, for some personal, aggrandizement and on all of that. That was the basis for
between you and I. If now there existed a deposit account, there will be trail. Do you get what I'm saying? If they existed at all, what do I mean? You do banking transactions. There's no banking transactions that is oral. None. You go to your bank, you sign your check, that's evidence of transaction. You withdraw from your account, evidence of transaction. You have 5 million naira that is lying fallow in your account. You call your account officer, what can I do with this 5 million? He says, Oga, we have treasury bills, we have time deposits, we have CPs or something. We have instruments that you can use it in the money market. So, okay, what do I do? Say, come in and fill a form, right? That form is your instruction to the bank to carry out something.
So you are saying that there was no deposit account that was created?
If EFCC said there was a deposit account, the first thing they said was 20 billion.
Yes.
Suddenly, somewhere along the line, it became
19.3 billion.
Is anybody asking what happened to the 66?
The EFCC said that they are tracing where the rest of the money is and that there was a withdrawal from that deposit account, which is about 700 million naira.
Yeah, about 666 million actually. If that is true, I mean, the records will always show it. Let them keep investigating. The day they find the truth, let them bring it to the public, right? But Kogi says it's telling you that account you're seeing is our loan account with the bank. The reason why it's almost 20 billion is because in the last 2 years there have been payments to offset the outstanding. You know, for every loan transaction we do, there are rentals that will be paid over a period, right? If I have a 10-year facility with any bank, maybe the interest is quarterly, is monthly, there will be a graduation of interest payable, which at the time due, they will debit whoever it's supposed to come from and credit my loan account, which will net off the balance. So Kogi says, I said, guys, what I have is a loan account. We can check it. There are instrumental repayments into this account. That's why it's not 20 billion. That's why it's 19.3.
But they are saying that they don't even have 19.3 billion.
Who's that?
That's the Kogi state government.
Yes, because it's a loan.
But is the money there or not?
There is
That's
no
the
money.
Question.
See, let me
if it's a loan,
yeah,
the account must have been funded for disbursement to the workers in the state, isn't it?
The money was transferred. You know, that's what I broke down earlier. When Sterling Bank receives money from CBN, they debit their CBN account and credit Kogi State account. Now for the disbursement, they will move money from that Kogi State bailout account into the personnel account. It's from personnel that Kogi State now disburses salaries and pays off.
So where is the money now?
What money?
Exactly, because the central bank said it has received
were
the
you
refund
there,
of that
were
money
you,
because the EFCC had gone to court.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And then filed a case
yes.
seeking the freezing of that same account
yes.
in question.
And the judge said what?
And the judge ordered the freezing of that account.
Yes.
Right? And from what we have gathered so far, that the Sterling Bank had said that they are going to refund that money to the central bank, which is why the EFCC withdrew the suit from the court.
Okay.
That has been done.
Okay.
Right? And now we are also hearing that the CBN has received that money.
From who? One of the parties involved in the case, coming to the court of public opinion to throw at us things that they usually do in the name of media rabble-rousing.
So, but where is the CBN in this instance?
Has anybody from CBN come out to say that they received
I haven't seen any
anything?
statement from the CBN.
Exactly.
But the EFCC has said that. So, is it who is lying now to us? Is it the CBN
those are very strong
is it the CBN
words.
that is supposed to come and clear the air, or is it the EFCC
My brother,
that is lying?
those are very strong words. Now, transactions are traceable. Always. Always. I won't say anybody's lying, but from antecedents, I think Nigerians should be able to see or have an idea what's going on. I'll give you a personal example. One of the reasons that got me interested in this case was I think it was 2008 or 2009. I used to be in the banking sector then. And I had one of my subordinates had an account that ESC was interested in. So, of course, usually they will tell you to report. They invite you for discussion and suddenly you are unavailable to everybody. So when I heard that, I spoke with my head office in Lagos and I said, go and find out what's going on with that gentleman. So I went there. I think it was in the FC office in Area 11 in Abuja here. Yeah, one small office there. No, it was in Wuse to Diagno House. And we got there. And while waiting to see my person and find out what's going on, what can we do to ameliorate the issue and all that, someone comes to me and says, Oga, maybe you're a banker. I say, yes. Dumps a pile of papers before me. Bank statement from one of the banks. It was the bank statement of one of the parastatals. I would not be at liberty to mention the name now. Now they go, okay, can you show us in this statement how whether they stole money or not? I thought it was a joke, and I asked, I said, bros, a bank statement is just an evidence of transaction. It's a record.
So, now,
just hold on.
We would like to get clear on this. Yeah. If the Kogi state government says the money does not exist, it's no longer there, it has been disbursed, as it was. As it should have been. It should have been, right? Yeah. And now the central bank is saying.
The central bank has not said anything.
Okay, the central bank said through the EFCC.
No. The PFC is not central bank's mouthpiece. Let's be clear about that. I have an issue with media. Media do not do what they're supposed to. They are the fifth realm of, as they say, the fourth realm.
Well, the same way we haven't seen any statement from the Sterling Bank.
You have?
We haven't seen any.
Yes.
No, we haven't. See, what we have is what Kogi state government said, yes. The Sterling Bank have said.
Yes.
So we have a case where the Kogi state government is saying the Sterling Bank said ABCD.
Let me throw it back at you.
EFCC is saying the central bank have said ABCD.
Let me throw it back at you.
Where is the balance here?
You do the investigation and find out for yourself and inform Nigerians. Because the records are there. I'm giving you an account from the records.
We haven't seen a statement from Sterling Bank. Neither have we seen any statement
most likely you
from
will
the
not
central bank. Most likely what we have gotten so far is statement from the EFCC and statement from the.
These are the two parties involved in this discussion, right?
Both of them attributing to the various banks.
Yeah. So what you should do, you have the FOI bill, which allows you access to public information. It's not rocket science. This is where we got the little information I've been able to share this morning with us. Do you get what I'm saying? So ask any accounting student, ask any entry-level banker about transactions tracing. They'll tell you, because that is happening between two people, what you say is a debit to you is a credit to me.
So what you are saying is that you have an EFCC, a body that is meant to investigate financial transactions and corruption, isn't it? What you are saying is that the EFCC is filing a case in court over a matter that does not exist.
It won't be the first, and I hope it will be the last. Do you understand what I'm saying? It won't be the first. I'm not calling to question their integrity or anything. I'm just saying the professionalism leaves a lot to be desired. I've experienced it personally. I mean, look at the Kogi story. We found money somewhere in the Kogi. Where is it till today? Nothing. There's so many. See, the challenge is, you stumble on something, you don't understand what it is. You don't wait to, how do you say it now? To prove guilty before announcing the guilt verdict. You pronounce the person guilty before investigating. They now go on the media blitz. Unfortunately, the media comes to bite you back. Because by the time they engage with the parties involved, some level of the truth will come up. As I said, I mean, I don't have any apologies for everything. Everything I'm saying is raw facts. It's backed up by data, which any interested person can find out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So first, I mean, asking them, a loan is not a store of money. Okay, they said it's a loan. You said it's a time deposit. So show the certificate of deposit. Show, okay, that's what you confirm, that it's time deposit, right?
No, if it's a loan,
yes,
it was given and that account, that money is there.
What the money can't be there.
The allegation is that money was now transferred to a deposit account, which was created upon receiving that loan.
The money, say, for every loan account is in a debit position with the bank. If you ever access a loan from a bank, what you see as your loan account is debit to the figure which you have outstanding. Now, where that money was, let's say you took a loan to buy a car. As I said, in your loan account with the bank, they will show loan availed 5 million naira. But because you cannot spend directly from that loan account, you transfer it to your own current account. Or the bank will avail you an overdraft in that current account. So you see a credit leg into your account, which is you have value up to 5 million naira. You now take that money and go and buy your car. Does that mean the loan account with the bank has a store of money? No. Kogi, the EFCC said this, which you've reiterated over time, that it's a loan account. Yes, money was transferred into another account. So let them, that account that was transferred to, don't stop looking at the one that was the loan source. Because that loan source, which is what they took to court, which was 19.333 billion. Do you understand what I'm saying? That loan account is what they took to court. So if you say that there was a deposit account, show Nigerians the deposit account.
They have provided the number of the account, anyways.
The account they showed. As I said, the media has the responsibility to inform properly. The account that was shown was the loan account. The court documents are there.
All right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
All right. Now, this account, 0073572696.
I don't know what that account means.
With the name Kogi State Bailout, Kogi State Salary Bailout account. Is domiciled with Sterling Bank. And that's the account the EFCC is claiming that money was deposited.
What do you call the name of the account again?
Well, it was called
Kogi State Salary Bailout
account.
Yes. So if it was a deposit account, will it be bearing the name Kogi State Salary Bailout? It will be Kogi State Deposit Account. It will be Kogi State Investment Account. It will be Kogi State what do you call that thing again? Treasury Bill Account. That's how you evidence storage of value in the system. You cannot say an account is Kogi State Salary Bailout. I mean, it's as explicit as the day. Kogi State Salary Bailout means it's an availment for salary bailout, which had been disbursed. The question that I think media should be asking, maybe a few questions I should posit here. Number one, ask Kogi State civil servants, were they paid as at when they said they were paid? One. I couldn't find that because I don't work in Kogi State. I don't know anything about them. Number two, if EFCC says money was moved from Sterling Bank back to CBN, what money was moved? That's number one. Number two, which is very, very important, are they now saying, or is Sterling Bank acquiescing that Kogi State doesn't owe them the 20-year loan from CBN, federal government again? Otherwise, if the money belongs to Kogi State, it should return back to Kogi State. Right. If it does.
Okay. Well, we have to pause it here. We have to end the discussion. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this expert's opinion, on this matter. We look forward to having you again on the program.
My privilege, sir. My privilege.
Now we will be ending the show at this point. Please stay with us and join us next time for another time on the program. My name is Ayueda. Thank you for watching.